Hey, you guys, it's Tammy. Welcome to episode 2 of Nasal Academy. So, today I had a plan. I was going to do all this kind of writing and started wondering, well, what can I do for Nasal Academy today? And just because we have all this stuff going on with the coronavirus, I thought, let's talk about how we can enhance a functional immune system, like really restore a functional immune system as opposed to living with such a dysfunctional one. In many respects, it's all over the place because the immune system is very complex. And so one of the blog posts that I've recently written, I'm going to point you back to. It's on synergessence.com. It's my ultimate guide, and it's titled "What's So Dangerous About COVID-19," or "What Makes COVID-19 So Dangerous" is the actual title. But please go read that because it's not just about the COVID-19; it's about the comorbidities and how we can begin to prevent and protect ourselves. It's the same thing I posted on Instagram and on my actually my Facebook page, Synergessence, as well as the group Aromatherapy is a Lifestyle. There's significant information out there that is being promoted as new news when, in fact, this is something we've been around for a long, long time, and we have the ability to enhance immune function as opposed to we don't need to suppress it and we don't need to activate it. So that's the difference where I come from is, and that's I see people are running out and wanting to strengthen the immune system or they want to suppress the immune system, which is what hydrochloroquine is doing. It's an immunosuppressant, but we don't need to do either one. We can come at this from a different angle. Now, and in the process of writing things or researching things, because I am producing a document, a narrative review for JAMA on the oils and immune system, I thought I'm going to share that here briefly. Oils. And the reason for that is because through the investigations out there, science is beginning to recognize the fact that the immune system is in our nose. I mean, we're producing. This is the reason why they can swab your nose. They've known this. Johns Hopkins was talking about this back in 2008. That the immunoglobulin A, the immunoglobulin G are present in the nose, and that subclasses of IgG, they're in the nose, whether it's rhinovirus or coronavirus. And so I encourage you to even go check out that post because it shares a lot. It's from the Journal of Infectious Disease, and it's very important to what we're doing right now. And one of the things that they recognize is that the immune cells have the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier and activate a number of genetic sequences that promote inflammation. This is not a bad thing. This is just this is a sign of instability and constant inflammatory reactions that are occurring, things that I talk about a lot. And so the reason for the oils and what we can do with oils with regards to enhancing our health right now, and keeping us more protected right now, as well as helping to stabilize immune reactions so that we have a stronger reaction to, or stronger response, if you will, when we are exposed to these increasingly aggressive or increasingly resistant viruses and bacteria. It's not that, we just don't want to get, because they can trigger, if we have underlying comorbidities, as you know, it's potentially fatal. So the purpose for these oils suggestions is to begin not just protecting us now, but actually helping to, prepare us for future and keep our systems stronger and better able to defend itself in the future so that comorbidities, or we can even reduce our experience of degenerative diseases such as, asthma or COPD, and I just use that term lightly because I know our children are being born with it. I started working with an Amish family just yesterday, and a 1.5-year-old has eczema and asthma. So the oils I recommend are based on my investigations with regards to the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier because they contain sesquiterpenes, not to mention the fact they are lipophilic chemicals, and lipophilic chemicals are what activate genetic activity. So our hormones are lipophilic, immune cells are lipophilic, because they're man-made chemicals are lipophilic, and that just means that in order to be transported from one location to the next, it requires oil. So essentially, they're hydrophobic. This is the reason why you can't take an essential oil and mix it with water, because you can see this, it never mixes. So the oils that I recommend And all you have to do is apply them under your nose. I don't say, don't diffuse them. Just put them under your nose and, a couple of times a day. Because one, they cross the blood-brain barrier. Two, they metabolize throughout your body and they begin to restore a stability. But I say twice a day. I would go as far as 3 to 4 times a day, given the environment that we are exposed to right now. That's the other thing is our millimeter wave activity with cell phones um, has been proven to actually alter genetic expression as well. So, again, another reason why we want to be including oils on a regular daily basis, not just when you think of it, but literally make it part of a lifestyle. So, please consider joining Aromatherapy as a lifestyle. I've got a lot of information there that you can watch, read, and have at your disposal for how to begin to include oils, especially if you're taking medications. So the oil suggestions that I have for you are myrrh, um, because it helps to regulate the stress response. Um, it it acts on both the endocannabinoid system as well as the endogenous opioid system, which is part of the immune system, and it also does have activity with regards to um, the tumor necrosis factor, which is indicated in all most inflammatory reactions, including especially cancer, but um, bacterial infections and so forth. So there's basically TNF is involved with all inflammatory processes because it's right there when the DNA is exposed to environmental stress. It begins to signal again inflammation, the production of unstable isomers is the word I've been using. Instead of calling it oxidative stress, they're just unstable isomers. And I use that word on purpose because it just is a demonstration of instability. So myrrh actually helps with reducing that. That's the reason why it's an excellent anti-inflammatory. So under the nose, sesquiterpenes in the brain, you're good. Copaiba is another one. It's a balsam. I do not, if you are taking any kind of psychotropic medication, any kind, please do not use copaiba. Just please don't. If you want to know more about that, message me. But it does, I'll just say right here, it interacts with these psychotropic medications on the CYP3A4 enzyme. And that's generally where they're metabolized. Those medications are metabolized in other ones as well, but we want to avoid copaiba because of the beta carophylline content. Does not mix with medications at all. Please don't jeopardize your health by mixing that because adverse effects can be the ones we would expect, the discomfort. It could create an additive effect, which means it enhances the effects of your medication, or it could be a silent effect only to rear its head at some point later in your life. Laurel leaf, another excellent one, helps to move the lymph system, helps to supports nitric oxide synthase, which is essential in the immune system. Check out that blog post I mentioned. What's so dangerous about COVID, or what makes, yeah, it's in the description box. And the last one is helichrysum. Helichrysum corsica or italicum is the best way to call that one. Um, Again, it helps with mast cells. Mast cells are one of the first cells that are being released um, when we are exposed to allergens and viruses and bacteria. Again, it's a protection mechanism. It's a beautiful thing, but when we have so much floating around our environment, we're basically overproducing mast cells, which then releases histamine into the system, hence histamine intolerance. So again, you could mix up, a few, 4 drops, one single drop of each under your nose. If you get sensitivity, put a little bit of carrier right there, okay? Put the carrier down first. Don't mix it with the oil. Put the carrier down first, and then put your oils right there to prevent any sort of irritation. These oils won't irritate you, as far as I'm concerned, but you might be sensitive to them. So if you need to, put the carrier down first, then inhale. Otherwise, just put it straight on 3 to 4 times a day at this point. Would be a really, really great start. And but just you don't need to mix it with a carrier. Just put it straight on, 1 drop of each, and boom, you're covered. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Take care. Until later, be well.